A few hours after Donald Trump offered his extravagant and inhuman solution for Gaza, expel the inhabitants who remain there and build a new Riviera on the shores of the Mediterranean on the rubble, and the more than 61,000 dead, his wife has appeared to the mortals from the cover of the Spanish magazine Hola. It is an exclusive report with images of its official photographer, the Belgian resident in Paris Regine Mahox. Half model half executive, Melania Trump looks imposing, willing to take all the responsibility that her position entails with more freedom than ever now that Baron, her son with the tycoon, is already more than raised. He is a different person than he was 8 years ago, he told Hola. Mahox, photographer of the Trump since 2008, and author of the new official portrait of the First Lady, a black and white image in which Melania, dressed in a spectacular black tuxedo, leans on the desk of her office in the White House with the Washington Mall in the background. In the images published exclusively by Hola, you can see Melania at the foot of the track talking on the phone under the nose of her husband's official plane, dressed in an impeccable gray tailoring suit and climbing into very high, burgundy, heels that only she seems to be able to fit naturally. In another photo he looks at the defiant camera with a beautiful blue coat from a glazed corner of the Trump Tower in New York, a print of the last presidential campaign with a red jacket suit, another getting out of the car with a leather skirt, sunglasses and Louboutin heels, and some snapshots of the day of Trump's inauguration, among others, complete a report that looks more like a fashion editorial. Like the Queen of England. In addition to the photographer, the magazine has collected the testimony of 2 other people from Melania Trump's trusted circle, the designer and stylist Hervé Pierre Braillard, responsible for the dresses that she has worn at her husband's 2 opening balls, and the interior designer Tom Canalicum, who already collaborated with the First Lady in the redecoration of the White House during Trump's first term, and who is now returning to helping her. Although Mrs. Biden appreciated the quality and care of the work done by both in 2017, and made minimal changes to what Mrs. Trump and I had completed, these collaborators describe Melania as a close and human person, who always cares about those who work for her, even willing to prepare the first coffee of the morning, a woman who gets up every day at 6 in the morning, who works until after midnight, and who never complains, not even on the day of her husband's second inauguration, in which she traveled about 16 kilometers, and climbed 39 flights of stairs without getting off her very high heels. I've always thought she's like the Queen of England, that kind of woman, says photographer Mahox. A woman without fear of getting her hands dirty, for whom her husband is always the first thing. According to these sources, little suspected of wanting to displease Melania, she is very satisfied with the place she occupies in her marriage, which is more solid than ever. According to decorator Canalicum, Melania understands the power of listening, a trait that is often overlooked, but that is fundamental to solid leadership. Something we don't know if she learned from her husband or quite the opposite. Strong but in soft ways, like a silk glove forged in iron, her photographer assures that Melania is really good at balancing her husband. Maybe it depends on her that the brand new president doesn't jump into the pool with some of his crazy proposals and threats.